Hello, such a pleasure to meet you.
I'm so happy to be able to do this.
Yes, is your shoes comfortable
Yes,
enough?
we're good. I just changed them actually. So I was like, I don't think 3-inch heels on the sand would have been the way to go. So
Yeah, probably.
good.
I hope you, feel
we're
comfortable.
good. Yeah.
Is this your first time in Indonesia?
Yes, it's my first time in Indonesia. So Bali first and then Jakarta tonight.
Yeah, I hope you would have time to enjoy Bali.
Yeah, we had a little
bit.
bit of time yesterday. I took a walk and was able to eat some local food and looked at the water, which was beautiful. So it's been great.
Super nice, super nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just finished 2 weeks of diving
Did you?
as well.
Where?
Right here in Bali.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Are you a diver by trade? Like, have you been diving for a lot of your life?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm now finally a certified dive instructor.
Oh my gosh,
So
I'll have
I
to come
could
back
take
and
you
learn to
away.
dive from you.
Yes, I could take you. Now I could take you. But aside from diving
Yes.
and other fun stuff,
Yes.
I would love to ask you questions about, how have the US provide opportunities for youth in Southeast Asia?
Well, I'm so glad you asked, because the reason I came to Bali today is to celebrate the 10-year anniversary of our flagship exchange program called the Young Southeast Asian Leaders Initiative, or YSEALI. And YSEALI has been a cornerstone of our U.S. partnership in ASEAN for years, for 10 years. And we're so excited now to be doubling the program and to be charting the course of the next 10 years. I think we strongly believe that at the heart of the United States diplomatic approach in ASEAN is young people, and is empowering their education and their training and their professional development, because in my view, young people already know what needs to happen in their communities to create change. We just need to be their partners to help them realize, put their ideas into action.
Precisely, and that's an incredible thing. But at the same time, we also notice that young people know what they need to do.
That's right.
But it's really difficult for them to somehow get the opportunity to lead.
Yeah.
How could we change that?
Well, so much of it is how are we making sure to find the people that are looking to engage with us. And so we are also, besides broadening and expanding the YSEALI program, we have another variety of programs, ways in which people can find opportunities, whether it's to study in the United States, whether it's to learn how to be a good communicator. To your point, young people are looking to use their platforms these days. We know that. Everybody has a voice, and that's great. So part of what we're also doing is helping people know how to be communicators, know how to access resources, being able to give them grants. All of those things will help young people lead going forward. And again, we're just looking to be their partners. So part of what I'm here to do is to listen. I'm here to listen to the 150 young leaders that came from across the ASEAN region to this YSEALI Summit today, because we can learn what they need, what they want, how they want to partner with us to be able to chart their path forward.
I find that being able to listen and facilitate and support and build partnership is one of the best thing, an incredible thing that anyone can do.
Anyone can do.
And it's just so also at the same time that same approach when you meet local communities, being able to learn and to listen. You yourself have huge experience in doing this, in creating the enabling conditions for young people. What would your advice be for them to have that courage to leap forward and take chances?
I would say this. I would say that they're never too young to lead. Right? I mean, we know that change is made in so many different ways. We know that whether you're a young person just starting off in your educational journey, or whether you're a small business owner who's halfway through your career, you have an opportunity to make change. And so one of the things that drives my thinking, that drives our US policy, is that no one has the best ideas themselves. That the best ideas are going to come from this listening and this convening that we're talking about. And when we're talking about effective leadership and effective communications, it's that two-way exchange that's so powerful. And so my advice to a lot of the young people who both go through YSEALI and others is talk to each other. We need people to talk to each other. We know the power of social media these days, but it's also important alongside the power of social media to maintain that human-to-human connection, because ultimately learning from one another in person leads to opportunity.
I agree so much with you. And those in-person meetings could never truly be replaced by online, even though we get a lot out of online engagement, but in person really built that connections and relationships. But U.S. State Department funded a whole lot of projects as well. Is there any particular projects that you are excited about, that you want to talk about, that you want to highlight?
I'm so excited because coming and learning about the projects from the people actually doing them is what's so rewarding. And we have what's called Seeds of Change, which is a way to give small grants to YSEALI participants who know what they need to do and they need some investment to help them get there. And so today, this morning, I heard from different leaders of programs, one in which 2 women are working on food banks, local food banks, and tackling food waste, and working with partners, including with Marriott, to use food waste as a way to enhance food bank capability and to feed local communities. That's incredible, because if people are hungry, how can we expect them to focus on any other issue? It's a foundational human issue. And so I was so energized to see that. I was also energized to hear from 2 women who are creating fellowship opportunities at corporations, because one of the things we hear from young people all over the world is that they're driven by a sense of mission. They're driven by a sense of partnership. And so we want to be able to help them get that sense of purpose, that sense of partnership going forward. And they can only do that if they actually are exposed to issues that they care about and companies that they might be able to fit at. So that was energizing. You know, I have to say that one of the most inspiring things I heard today was from a YSEALI participant who came to the United States on a fellowship. And she had a host family in the United States of different ethnic backgrounds, different religious backgrounds. And she came away from her YSEALI experience really appreciating the similarities and the humanity of people of different backgrounds. And I actually think that that's something that we're really honored to enable in people. It's not just providing technical training, providing educational training, which is important, but it's really a matter of bringing people together and humanizing each other. That's at the power of these programs and what we hope to do more of.
I mean, I myself was
I was going to ask you, tell us about your IVLP. Yeah.
It was incredible. That was my first time in the US. I was absolutely fascinated to see how diverse the country are, how different cultures, people from coast to coast. I get to go to Los Angeles. I got to go to DC, of course. Got to go to Atlanta.
What was your favorite?
Well, interestingly, I got to go to Kalamazoo.
Okay.
So it was quite a shock.
Michigan's
for me.
a great place.
I would never have expected to being able to visit Kalamazoo, right? I mean, if I were to go as a tourist, I'm probably not going to choose to go to Michigan. But that was the first time I went to a black church. And it was such an enlightening experience that I come to learn how they bond with each other, how they create communities, how they support each other, and of course a Sunday roast after church.
Sounds delicious.
Was the best.
You know, what you're describing is exactly why cultural diplomacy is so important. And my work at the State Department, called public diplomacy, is the way in which we create relationships amongst people. And some of that's through education and training and programs like YSEALI. Some of that's through traditional media and social media. But importantly, a lot of it is through cultural diplomacy and cultural experiences that are a way to bring people together to start talking, to start understanding each other before they might be able to have conversations about, you know, potentially harder issues or have conversations about how they can find solutions to move us forward. And so I'm really eager to be able to share your story back in Washington, D.C., that it was the Sunday roast in Kalamazoo that left the biggest impression on you because it was a shared human experience.
Exactly.
And I think in this day and age, there's so much focus on agreement and disagreement. And actually, where we should be spending more focus is on common understanding. Because we know that you're not going to get everyone to agree all the time. But there's a difference if you can understand someone, give them the benefit of the doubt, and then be able to have constructive dialogue going forward. So that's what makes me hopeful, to be honest. And knowing that culture has a role to play at the center of that and bringing people together keeps me energized to keep doing the work.
Precisely. I mean, we're running out of time, but before we leave, I really would like to ask, what is the best food that you have eaten in Bali so far?
Well, I had a very delicious chicken satay yesterday. I love peanut sauce, and I asked for extra peanut sauce because it was delicious. I also had a dish that, forgive me because I don't know the name of it, but it's a common street food in Bali, and it's a bit like a sweet dough pancake with either cheese or chocolate, and that was very delicious.
That's so good to hear. I mean, we have a lot of different kind of peanut sauce. You could have gado-gado, there's ketoprak. So if you
I like it all.
So if you like peanut sauce,
I like it
you're
all.
in for a treat.
There you go, and I'll have to come back to get more.
So much pleasure.
Thank you for doing this.
To meet you. Can I give you a hug?
I would love to. It means a lot. In this beautiful setting, I mean, the power of a place like this in representing what the future might hold is really, really impactful.
And the amount of trust that you give to the people in the room, to all the conference participants, to the summit, make me really have that faith and that belief that this relationship would just continue to grow and flourish.
Indeed. Thank you so much for having me.